Hi guys, it's your girl Erin. Today I'm going to be talking about a bunch of book recommendations for your friends if you're at a social engagement and you want to talk about books. So we're going to start off with my favorite genre, fantasy. Now I read almost anything fantasy, so anything that's recommended I generally read, if I have the time to do it. So we're going to start off with my favorite series, the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. In this series, there's the Assassin's Blade, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn, and Kingdom of Ash. I have not finished the series, but I'm close to finishing it. So I can't wait, although I'm preparing myself for tears. Another series is the Court of Thorns and Roses series. Now, this is also by Sarah J. Maas. In the series, there is a Court of Thorns and Roses, a Court of Mist and Fury, a Court of Wings and Ruin, and the final book, A Court of Frost and Starlight. I read all of the books in a short matter of weeks, and my mind is like screaming that Cassian and Nesta belong together, and when Sarah J. Maas comes out with the Cassian and Nesta novel, I'm going to be reading it like the Bible. Another book series is the Fallen Kingdom series by Morgan Rhodes. I have not finished this series yet, but I plan to. And then, as the new father of fantasy, A Game of Thrones by George R. R. Martin. Now, I have seen most of the TV series, and I have not yet started reading this book series, but I'm so into it already. And I really hope Daenerys doesn't die, and when I was first watching the series, I thought, oh, Khal Drogo's gonna be the new king of Westeros, and then he dies, and I just think to myself, well, darn it. So I had this fan theory that Daenerys would bring Khal Drogo back to life, and then bring her son back to life, and they would all live happily ever after. But I have a feeling that's not going to happen, since George R. R. Martin also thought that J.R.R. Tolkien, was not that great for keeping Gandalf killed off. So there's like a whole feud that's non-reciprocated on J.R.R. Tolkien's part, but there is on George R.R. Martin's part. So anyway, the next genre I have in mind is science fiction. Now, you can never go wrong with a Star Trek novel, although they are actually really hard to find in my hometown library and in my hometown bookstore, so I have to get them on my Kindle. But, other than all the Star Trek novels that I've been reading my entire life, I have 3 favorite science fiction novels. One of them is Lotus and Thorn by Sarah Wilson Etienne, or Etienne. I do not know how to pronounce her last name, but this is about, how do I explain it? Earth was abandoned 500 years ago, so all the humans went to the planet Gabriel, and now a plague called the Red Death is affecting the entire planet, and so this girl, she tries to get home while saving her people, all the while finding, like, romance somehow. So I was, like, really confused with the first few chapters, but I'm still reading it, and I'm actually really enjoying it. And then my favorite all-time series, besides Star Trek, is the Gone series by Michael Grant. Now, I could talk about this all day long, all night, and repeat the series over and over again. But the 6-book series is fantastic. I have the first 2 books of the sequel trilogy, and still, the Gone series is the best thing ever. Oh my goodness. And then for all of you zombie fans out there, we have Coldbrook by Tim Levin. Now, I was into this from page 1, and I can't wait to finish reading it. It's all about this secret facility in the Appalachian Mountains where I go camping a lot. And in this book, the world is being overpopulated and all that sort of stuff. So scientists in this Appalachian Trail facility thing, they decide, okay, we're going to go multiverse dimension hopping, and so they come into contact with zombies from this alternate dimension who invade, and then it goes on from there. So I'm totally into the book. I want another book at the end of this because I am not prepared for the series to end, even if it is a series or a standalone, I don't know. But anyway, to get to the supernatural, we have the Mortal Instruments series, first book City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. This book is an urban fantasy series. It's all about shadow hunters and Nephilim and vampires and werewolves and downworlders, demons, and all the things under the sun. I am obsessed with the series. I'm on book 4 now. I hope Clary and Jace wind up married by the end of the series, or planning to marry after the end of the series. So, Cassandra Clare, you have stolen my heart with this supernatural novel. Oh my god. And another book that I have is Rocks Fall, Everyone Dies by Lindsay Rybar. I finished this book in a couple of days, and it was actually kind of a letdown, you know? I mean, there were a lot of open ends, a lot of loose ties or whatever, so I was just confused about where this book could have gone or what it could have been. And then for the final supernatural novel recommendation, we have The Warrior Heir by Cinda Williams Chima. Now, she wrote the Flamecaster series, the Seven Realms saga, and the Heir Chronicles. And I have read the first 2 books of the Seven Realms series, and I'm going to be reading every other book that she has. And you know how you wish you knew those types of authors who would respond to your fan letters and all those emails? Well, I once emailed Cinda Williams Chima, and then 2 weeks later I got a response from her. Now, you may have heard me talk about this in the other videos I've posted, but that was one of the greatest days, well, not the greatest day of my life, but it was still a great day, even though it does not compare to meeting Nichelle Nichols and speaking to William Shatner of the original series of Star Trek from 1966 through 1969. Now, as you can tell, I'm totally obsessed with the series. Moving on to this dystopian series, we have The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins, and this book series, it's been around for a while, but I never really got into reading it until recently. I finished the series, and I was actually let down because I thought the series would go one way, but it went the other way, and so the movie Katniss and the book Katniss are like totally different, and so I'm just thinking to myself, what? Another book that we have is The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. I have yet to finish reading the book, but I think it's worth it. And then for the final dystopian novel is The Long Walk by Stephen King, also written as Richard Bachman. Now, this was a psychological thriller dystopian novel, and as you can tell, I marked the book with passages I liked, and then the parts up here. It was a really great book. My brother actually read this book for a project that he needed to do for school, and I helped him write the essay. It was really fun to do. It was great bonding with my brother, and I would totally recommend this book. And next for romance, we have Along for the Ride by Sarah Dessen. I lost my bookmark halfway through the book, so now I need to reread everything because I seriously don't remember what page I was on. And it's been a while since I put this book back on the shelf, so I kind of don't remember much about it other than something about one-on-one school time with the mother and the daughter, so that was, like, confusing. But anyway, another book that I would recommend is something like Fate by Susan Colasanti, or Colasanti. I don't know how to pronounce the name either. But this book is about a love triangle between 2 best friends and the boy they both fall in love with. Boy dates girl 1, boy falls in love with girl 2 falls in love with boy. So it's a love triangle romance. I wasn't really into it before, but it's like the summer romance novel to read on the beach with iced lemonade and just enjoy yourself. And then another book we have is The Selection by Kiera Cass. This is like The Hunger Games meets The Bachelor with less bloodshed, pretty much. And then for the nonfiction, We have Paper Towns by John Green, which is now one of my favorite nonfiction novels. And then we also have We'll Never Be Apart by Emiko Jean, which is an amazing book, although there is a lot of darkness in it, so if you're not into darkness and you, like, risk going into a deeper depression, I would probably not recommend this book. But if you're, like, thick-skinned or whatever, then totally read this book, because it is so worth the read. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you have a great day. Like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, comment below, do your thing, and have a good day, everyone.